What is up, everybody? It's your boy Wets, and this is another fine episode of the Purple Memoirs podcast, the one and only Prince podcast, filmed and hosted by Chanhassen, Minnesota natives. And today I have a very, very, very special guest joining me, and a lifelong friend and Chanhassen resident. Everybody welcome Mr. Justin Berg.
What's up, man?
How's it going?
It's
How
going
are you doing?
good, man.
Good. It's been a minute, right?
It's been a couple weeks, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably about right. It's kind of funny because you were actually the first guest on this show.
I was.
Yes. But a couple things happened. Some files got corrupted, and here we are again for round number 2.
Round 2. We don't like corruption. Hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Hopefully it doesn't happen again. Yeah.
I live a long ways away.
Yeah, right. A good 8 minutes down the road. That's funny. So, yeah, Justin is a good friend of mine. I've known him for probably at least 20 years. He also grew up down the road from Prince and Chan alongside me. Yeah, what was it like growing up in Chan?
It was awesome, man. Just a great place to grow up, dude.
It was a good spot.
It was such a cool place to grow up.
Yeah.
It's kind of like on the edge of, suburbia, I guess you could say. Like, back when Highway 5 was like a 2-lane road, man.
Yeah. That's funny.
My backyard was like cornfields, dude. Then it kind of blew up.
And that kind of leads into, I was going to ask you, why do you think Prince built Paisley Park in Chan back in 87?
Well, I just kind of wanted to be in the middle of nowhere, man.
West
is best, dude.
West is best. This is true. And if any of you have ever been to Paisley Park, you know now that it's not really in farmland anymore, and Chanhassen has kind of grown and built up around Paisley Park. And I know a lot of you have been to the celebrations that happen every year. But, yeah, it used to be a completely different place 30 years ago even, right?
Yeah.
Which is pretty wild. Yeah, I know. He was kind of like our local Sasquatch or Bigfoot in a weird sense.
Bit.
I mean,
you catch sightings.
Like a legend. You hear sightings and sightings and interactions, and then you'd kind of forget, like, after a while, you kind of forget how famous he is. And I mean, you don't forget, I mean, in a weird way, but it's just weird because after a while, it just seems like he was just a normal neighbor or another person in the town, you know.
Used to catch glimpses of him driving his purple Plymouth Prowler around.
Oh, yeah.
We'd be riding our bikes like, 12, 13 years old, riding around Chan, and here comes a tinted out purple Plymouth Prowler.
Oh, gosh.
You knew who was behind the tent, but he'd go slow. And
you knew.
Everyone knew.
But yeah, growing up in Chanhassen, I mean, you'd hear about sightings and stuff like that all the time, obviously. I mean, he was basically like a neighbor. Do you remember any of your sightings or interactions with the man himself?
I mean, there was one time I saw him in the flesh.
Yeah.
One time.
Yeah.
The only time. Like, not behind, like, the tint of his car as he's driving past, because it was like you could not see it in that car.
You didn't know who was in there.
It was so dark. You knew who was in it.
Yeah.
But it was so dark you couldn't see through.
Or if you saw the symbol on the wheels.
A
small hint.
Kind of riding around, right?
Yeah.
Well, I remember one time, we were just kids, high school, and selling some weed or whatever. So we pull up into the Byerly's parking lot. I think it's like 2 a.m. or something like that.
That's back in Byerly's, and that's in Chanhassen, right?
Definitely, yeah, Chanhassen. So definitely
downtown Chanhassen.
Yeah, downtown Chanhassen. 2 a.m., 1:30 a.m. Nobody's around, and dumb kids were just like, "Hey, buddy calls me. Hey, can you help me out?" I'm like, "Yeah, meet me over at the Byerly's," and we just hang out in the parking lot and what is there to do in a tiny town in the middle of nowhere other than, like, I don't know, hang out in a parking lot, right? So we're in the parking lot and we're just kind of chilling, and all of a sudden the Prowler rolls up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
The Purple Prowler?
The Purple Prowler. But he doesn't park in a parking space. No, he pulls up to the front door, like on the sidewalk.
Wait, you mean
like
Wait, like right in front of the main entrance doors,
yeah.
Or the pickup groceries?
Like, I don't know if you can pull up a picture of the Byerly's parking lot, but he pulls up. They've got this revolving door, right? It's like in the front.
It's like an old school mall door.
They used to have a revolving door in the front. I don't think they do anymore, but it was like a revolving door. And
actually, here we go.
Back in the day, they had a revolving door.
Yep.
I don't think it is anymore, but I'm pretty sure when Prince was there, it was definitely a revolving door. So he pulls up right there. He pulls up onto the sidewalk, like. Not on the road, like up to the door.
I mean, are we talking like over that yellow line?
He's completely on the sidewalk, right?
Like you would think it was like a drunk Chanhassen housewife.
Yeah, but I know the car, right? I know who that is. So I'm like, oh my God, it's Prince, dude. Like me and this other guy and like, two other kids. Like, dude, it's Prince. And he's like, no way. And I'm like, way, dude, way. So we're watching. He's just parked there, just sitting there. It's Lincoln Town car.
Where were you parked in comparison?
So we're parked in like the back of the parking lot, like towards Target, like kind of in that back cutty, just like definitely looking sketchy.
Northeast from the entrance.
Yeah. So we're in the back, and he pulls up, and he waits there, and it's probably like 2 minutes, right? And it feels like an eternity because we're like, man, that's Prince.
Yeah. Like, what's he doing?
Well, there's like a Lincoln Town car or like a black car pulls up behind it, right? Dude gets out. It's a big dude. Hops out. Goes and opens Prince's door for him.
So he pulled up right behind Prince's car?
Right behind Prince on the sidewalk. Like right behind him. So he pops out, opens up Prince's door for him. And
they're both parked illegally, by the way.
Yeah, and he hops at 2 a.m, bro, and they're still open. It's like a 24-hour deal. Yeah, there it is. So he hops out. He's got high heels on. It's like, dude, it's July. It's like 90 degrees at night.
What time would you say
this is? Like 1:32 a.m.
When Byerly's used to be 24/7, by the way.
I don't know. Maybe they're not anymore, but
they
were definitely before. So he hops out in a mink fur coat. This thing's like, it's like a white. It's full length, all the way down to the concrete.
Gangster.
And he's hopping out with high heels on, and he struts in like this, right? And I'm like, oh my God, dude, that's Prince. Like, what? The Sasquatch is real, dude. We finally found him. And I'm like 17, like, oh my God, let's go in there.
Did he see you do your little deal or?
No, I was already done. We were just hanging out, right? So we walk in there and I'm like, I got to go get a Red Bull or something, right? Like find him.
In disbelief.
So I go up there. We walk in. He's already
wait. So when you walked in, where did you go, left or right? Like, where was he?
Well, so I walked in and they had a cooler like right here on the wall. So I'm like, I'm going to go grab a Red Bull, right? And I was thinking we were going to have to go walk around the store and look for him. No, dude. He's already at the cash register.
You think he like
two shopping carts full of shit.
You didn't even see him walk. He was just straight levitation mode.
Straight, like he's already like he called ahead and said this is not him. Obviously, he didn't call. Well, somebody called ahead.
At the time, you didn't know that. You're like, how did he grab his groceries so fast?
I'm thinking, man, this dude's a wizard because we walked in 2 minutes later and he's already got 2 shopping carts full of shit and he's at the cash register right now.
I mean, I knew he knew what he wanted, but wow,
right? So I grab a Red Bull and I'm like, I'm behind him in the checkout and I'm like from me to you away from him and I'm like, oh my God, dude, I could smell his like perfume that he had on.
What did it smell like? Do you remember that?
Oh, man, I don't even remember.
Were you?
I was so starstruck that I don't even remember what it smelled like. I knew I could smell him, right?
And I'm like, smell purple.
I'm like, man, this is crazy, dude. That's Prince. I'm like, oh my God, and I kept looking at him like, Jesus, oh my God, it's actually him. He's real. Like he's right here.
You don't even want the Red Bull. It's 1 a.m.
I didn't even want it. I'm like, I needed to look not weird, but I'm totally looking weird, right? I don't think anybody else in line with me understood, but I'm like, oh my God, there he is,
Yeah.
God,
I mean, there were probably like 11-year-olds ringing him out. They don't even realize who he was.
Yeah. So I'm like, he's standing back there and like, the cashier, deet, ringing stuff up and he's getting all weird and he's kind of like, you could tell he was super uncomfortable. I feel kind of bad looking back at it now, like it totally crashed his party. Super private dude, right? There's a reason he was there at 1:30 a.m.
Well, you didn't say anything or try and take a picture.
I didn't say nothing, man. I was just looking at him, and he was so weirded out by the fact that I think that we were even there.
He did not expect anybody in Chan to be there.
He looked at his big bodyguard dude, and he's like, "I'll see you at the house," and he's like, just nodded at him, and then he like strutted off. Walked back out to his car, and the dude just mean mugged us the whole time.
How big was he?
And it was 2 shopping carts full of stuff, dude. So it took a while to beep that stuff through the belt. So he's he's just staring at us. It felt like an eternity, right? Like,
do you remember if he paid with cash or used a card?
I can't remember. I was just so worried that this dude was going to kick our ass because we're just like, we ruined Prince's night, dude. Like, his whole night was ruined, you know, right? So I ruined Prince's night one night.
Prince is out grocery shopping at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
You guys aren't supposed to be here.
No, we're not. But it's a public place. I mean, we can be there, but we weren't supposed to. You know, like, it felt totally wrong. To this day, I'm like, man, I've totally ruined Prince's night. Once.
You should have actually said to him, what are you doing here so late?
But that's where, like, he's got, like, a bunch of that stuff. I mean, super private dude, like, I've a couple friends I know, like, you know, the Hollywood video store, he'd request that it be open like an hour late. My buddy worked there and he's like, yeah, so somebody would call and be like, you know, Prince is going to come in, so you guys need to be open for him.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
like,
I also heard later on he had a key or something where he would just pick up the groceries in the back of Byerly's. Like, he parked in the back with a key.
I weirded him out so much that he had to get a key from the back.
Probably because of you.
Oh, man.
Which kind of leads me to the next story, which if we were caught and he recognized you, we probably would have weirded him out even more. And I want to bring up the time in the story, 2005-ish, Chanhassen, Prince's property on Galpin Boulevard, which is one of his many properties in Chanhassen, but Paisley Park Estates, when you do the tour, sometimes they tell you otherwise, but as the OG locals, we know where it is and what's up. Actually, the Gangster Glam video was actually filmed there outside at the pool. But, yeah, I just wanted to talk about the story when me and you... Actually, Prince
There's
had leveled. Prince had the property.
There's the gate.
There's the gate. Prince had the property for some time, and he wasn't really staying there too often, and so he leveled it for tax reasons, and he kept the property but leveled the house.
Yeah, butted up right up to Lake Ann.
Right up to Lake Ann.
Remember the time that we made cookies?
We'll get to that story after this one. So, yeah, so leveled the house, kept the property, and we thought, let's go camping. Let's sneak on his property and go camping. And do you remember the details of that night?
I do.
I remember
like it was yesterday.
We parked in Long Acres, right across the road from Paisley. And do you remember climbing the fence?
I do.
Tell me about it.
Big fence.
Yeah, I think I went underneath it.
I think you did.
I think I did a little Groundhog Day.
Pretty sure I didn't want to get dirty, so it just went over.
Yeah, and I was just full of purple excitement. I just needed to get across it some way or another. So we get across the fence, right? And all the security cameras, I remember, they're cut and they were hanging.
Well, yeah, the guard shack had nothing in it. So, I mean, it was totally vacant.
It was weird, though. Like, yes, he leveled the house, still owned the property, but why would you cut the cameras? It seemed like.
Well, the cameras weren't cut. The cameras were still wired.
I remember them being cut
Was
and
it
just
actually
pointed
cut?
down.
I don't know.
That's.
I mean, it was a while ago.
It was 20 years ago.
It was a while ago, but I just remember the guard shack. I mean, obviously, that's where they're going to be watching security.
Yeah,
footage.
that's true. And if that's not
nothing
there,
in there,
and they built that new guard shack like a year or two before he passed away, or not before he passed away. I'm sorry, a year or two before he built or destroyed the house there, leveled the house. Yeah. Remember it, like how that was a really crappy one, and they built that really nice one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember we got across, we got scaled the fence, or at least he did, and yeah, there was nothing there. And I remember, do you remember there being a big cage?
Yeah, it was a cage,
like for a
almost
lion?
like he had white tigers
or something exotic.
I feel like if it was him, it would definitely be like white tigers.
I could see him dyeing it with like purple with like food dye or something.
Maybe.
Dude. Like that'd be awesome.
But he had that fountain with like it.
He had a fountain with
the
that,
driveway the driveway went in a circle, and
it was
there was
his
a
symbol.
Fountain in the middle with his symbol.
Yes, the driveway was his symbol.
So it was set
fountain.
to be like demolished or whatever. Mm-hmm. So like it was already set. I think like contractors had already bought the property, and it was like going through.
No, when we camped there, they had just leveled the house, but he still owned the property.
So he still owned it.
That was the second time we were there and got the bricks.
Okay.
So, but basically, yeah, we went there and we did some exploring. I remember we found like a 1950s car on the property,
Yep.
Remember? And we found like a random hole in the ground. And there was a statue
with no arms.
With no arms. It was like a Greek statue, and it was like the real deal. It was like 10,000 pounds. I actually later saw that on the inside of one of his album covers.
Really?
Yes.
No way. So yeah, it was in the back of the property, kind of closer to Lake Ann, and he had this like slough dugout.
Yes, it was kind of odd.
Where it was kind of almost like a pond, but wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it was like a heart-shaped pond, I think.
But there was no water in it, so it was kind of weird. Like, did he fill it with water?
At that point, I mean, he obviously wasn't keeping up with the property because he leveled the house, but just kept the property.
So, yeah, and it like just looked out over, without arms, just kind of looked out over this pond.
It was like 60 acres in the middle of Chanhassen. Yeah. It was incredible. But one thing that was still there was his outdoor tennis court /
basketball court.
Yeah. And
it was in a fence.
It was in a fence.
Like it was a park. It was in a park. It has an entire fence around.
You can actually see it right there.
It's right there.
You can see it right there in that
there
photo.
It is down. It was kind of down in the gully right there.
Yep.
And
it's so hard to believe that was in Chan.
I know, right?
How much space was there?
So yeah, we went down there and I'm looking at the basketball hoops, and one of them's already gone. And then I look over on the other one, and that one's still there. And I'm like, well, I don't think he'll miss the other one.
So whatever happened to that basketball hoop?
It's right there,
everybody. Prince's Galpin basketball hoop. And you know
it's right there, dude.
His DNA's probably
it may be. I bet he might have, I don't know if he had the ups, but
was that the Charlie Murphy hoop? Could it have been?
Could have been.
Very well, damn
could have been the Charlie Murphy hoop.
I think it was. I'd like to think it was.
In that skit, he did dunk it.
And that's it. I remember
and then he let go of the rim and stayed there.
And floated down. But I remember you twisted it. We were trying to get it
God,
off.
it took a long time, but you know what?
You could see the twisted steel on the bottom.
It's, God, the night I'll never forget, man.
It was a crazy night. And it was kind of funny because years after that, probably 7 years after that, we went back, okay? And this was when we heard they were going to sell the property off. We went back.
Yep.
Where did we get... I remember we had a wheelbarrow. We brought a wheelbarrow. We went back. And his driveway, which is made of bricks, which make the symbol with a fountain in the middle... we filled that wheelbarrow up with those bricks, some of those bricks.
The bricks, the fountain in the middle was made of bricks.
Yep. But we have bricks from Prince's driveway that created the symbol. We got, I don't know, 20 of them. But
and they were gonna developers purchase the place. They're gonna level it.
Yeah.
And, I think I kicked a security camera off the fence for you.
You might have. I think we might have had a security camera under the fence.
But now it's fully developed.
It's fully developed. And actually, it's pretty crazy. If you pull up Google Maps, can you pull up some of those on your phone? Pull up some of those street names?
Oh, yeah.
We were actually looking at this.
I think I remember them. Paisley Parkway.
Rogers Lane. Alphabet
Street.
So the developers that had his land that made it into a big cookie cutter development, they at least had the respect and the love to name all the streets after Prince songs. So that's kind of cool. I mean, if you want to come to Chan and pay 1.5 mil for a house 15 feet next to another house, but you can live on the street that's, labeled Alphabet Street. Be my guest, baby, because it's all there.
It's all there.
But
there it is.
Yeah, there we go. So we have
Pearl
Rogers
Drive.
Court, Paisley Path, we got Alphabet Street, Pearl Drive, and so that's kind of cool at least. But it was very
Paisley
interesting.
Circle.
It's crazy because was the biggest property owner in Chanhassen when he passed away.
Visionary Court.
Wow. Father's Song. I had no idea.
That's wild.
That's a deep cut. That's like a deep cut. Father's Song Court. And these people probably have no idea that even live here is the ironic part.
That one's got no name yet.
Oh, that's the Black Album. No, I'm just kidding, everybody. Wow. But yeah, I mean, that's what happened to.
So yeah, butted up right to Lake Ann. I remember being a kid. They had paths. So if you look down there, where that green is on the south side, there's a path right there on the that goes around the east side of the lake there.
Yep, I can see it.
Well, if you go to the top, that path actually kind of by Greenwood Shores, it goes off road, and there's a creek there, but you can cross the creek. It's not an official path, but it's worn in kind of like a mountain bike path or something.
This is like a locals only kind of path.
It's kind of a locals only deal. Like you literally have to cross a creek. So people used it for, I don't know, did Prince have horses? I don't know.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't doubt it either. But Chanhassen's weird. People had horses and stuff. So you would go through that, and then you'd come up kind of where Greenwood Shores ends right there, where that. Right in the middle, that cut.
Where it hits Utica?
It would say private property, but we would still keep going around that. And on the back side, there was kind of like this little beach. Little did we know, I didn't know when I was a kid, we were riding our bikes, or BMX bikes, and we built a couple jumps back there. But that was like where Prince would go on his beach, dude. So we were using Prince's beach and had no idea.
Wait, it butted up to
it was like a hidden beach, kind of, yeah. And then there was like a. But
was it when those black gates were there?
There was like a gate back there. It was like an old farm gate, but it was all overgrown and stuff.
You think he sunbathed
We kind of
there?
went like right up to the gate, but then there was like this little hidden beach that we would like go swim at. But it was kind of like. We didn't really go on to, well, we did kind of go on there, but but we would literally swim kind of like right on his beach, if you will. But,
wow.
I mean, that was back in the day when.
Dig, if you will, a picture.
Yeah,
baby.
I mean, if you can go to satellite view, you might even be able to kind of see it. So yeah, that would cut through the woods there, keep going down, keep going to the west, to southwest. Yeah, it was kind of round right there, kind of. Yeah. On that side.
So interesting.
Somewhere around there.
So you think he had a trail through his woods?
You can't really see, yeah. I mean, you can't really see the trail, but yeah, it was
there.
So
he had a trail through his woods to a beach.
He had a bunch of trails through the woods that we would just go ride. Nobody ever talked to us.
I never, well, yeah, because he was on tour. Yeah. I never even knew about those. I mean, I knew he used to walk the trails up at Eckankar, which we do not condone visiting or going near Eckankar. But
hey, everybody has the right to religious freedom.
Yes, that is very true. Yes. But it was very interesting, and he used to go walk up there and those trails of the Golden Cult. And so I never realized that his property butted up that far to Lake Ann.
No, it's like right there. It's like
I just figured it stopped at the tree line.
I mean, it's kind of the tree line, but I mean, when we were there, you couldn't really see the lake at all. So there was a tree buffer,
yep.
But when we were back there, we kind of like, oh, I wonder what farm is up there. Must be a farm. I bet they got horses. That's all we used to think about. It was like, oh, I bet somebody's riding their horse back here. But
nobody put two and two together.
I don't know. We were dumb. I mean, we were just kids. I mean, we would ride our bike all the way up there. Mm-hmm. So like, this is before the time of cars. This is before the time of like we even knew Prince lived there.
Yeah.
So we were like, unbeknownst, we're like swimming literally probably in Prince's beach.
You might have even swum
right
after.
It was kind of, I mean, it wasn't like a beach. It was kind of gross. I mean, it was kind of like seaweedy, but I mean, it was sandy bottom and stuff. And like, it was like, whatever, at least we're secluded. We bring chicks back there. And like,
no one would bother him.
No, nobody would bother us. Like, oh, we got this hidden beach. We're going to come here and have parties. But we're like, it never happened. You know, we're like 13 years old on bicycles where we're going to have like party supplies on our bike. You know, I don't know. It never fizzled out that way. It was just a place to hang out in the summer. So we would go back there with Andy Burdick and like Josh Jones and
we'd just Chan heads right there.
We'd ride back out there and just chill. But
yeah, that's awesome.
It was kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
And it's kind of funny. Larry Graham also lives in Chan. No one ever seems to ever bring him up.
Larry Graham lived, I think, in Long Acres. I think.
Yeah,
I think where we parked our cars, I think he lived in that neighborhood. Not positive, not 100%.
Or maybe in the general area. We don't know.
In the vicinity, we're not sure. Oh my God, that brings up this one time. This one time. So like I worked at Country Inn and Suites. It's now leveled, rest in peace.
Yes. It was connected to the Chanhassen Cinema.
The Chanhassen skyline has changed 100%. Like
yes.
If you're coming down was it Laredo?
Yep.
you won't even recognize where the heck
No.
you're at because you can see clear across the Highway 5 now, which is wild because the hotel would like sit right there, you know, and it had the high timber lounge.
Yep.
And it
This
would
is the
sit,
painting right
and
here.
they tore down the cinema that had the
painting,
iconic where we
that was actually painted by Mr. G, and
It's
this is kind
it's
of a
from
funny
New Zealand,
story.
right?
Yeah, I met him, and Michael Holtz, Prince's DJ, on one of our episodes, which I'm sure y'all remember.
there's that one right down there.
Yep.
Side left.
Michael Holtz DJ'd the party there,
that's
the
a good
unveiling
one.
party there.
Perfect. We took our moped scooters right before they demolished it and
Got
parked
some
our
pictures
scooters there
there.
and got some sweet pictures.
I heard
right there.
that they're in cahoots with this guy, and he's going to come back into another piece in Chan.
Is he?
Yeah.
There's a picture of him painting it right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I went and met him.
Gnarly.
I actually was there with DJ Michael Holtz. He was doing like a reveal party there, DJing it, and I met him there. Exchanged words there years ago. But yeah, that was done by a rattle can, and
That's insane.
it was huge. It was awesome. But yeah,
So
he's gonna
good.
come back, and part of Chan history right there, baby. But as you were saying about
Off the side quest.
purple side quest.
Purple side quest. I'm working there, and I worked there for a couple weeks. I think it was in between stuff, and her working the front desk at a hotel is probably not where I really saw myself. So it was a great in between job. You could go back
In betweener.
It was a good in betweener. You could go back and the continental breakfast stuff. They're like, yeah, you can go back and eat whatever you want. So I'd be like, fill my face with mini muffins and cereal and
Go watch the front desk overnight.
like little microwavable omelets.
That's awesome.
But one time, my boss is like, yeah, Paisley Park owes us like $20,000. I'm like, what?
And keep in mind this. Okay, another thing I want to point out is this Chanhassen Hotel. What was the actual name of it? The official name?
Country Inn Suites by Carlson.
Country Inn and Suites by Carlson. So another big fact about this place is when Prince would have artists in town, he would put them in there. He had one or two rooms, I think.
It's probably the suites. I'm sure.
Yeah, reserved at all times.
There were a couple of nice suites there with like hot tubs in the room.
And he would reserve
stuff
those
like
for
that.
artists coming in, recording or whatnot. And so that's his connection, and that's why he owed a bill. But as you were saying,
Yeah, so they said, yeah, Paisley Park owes us $20,000, and we just basically said we're going to take them to collections if they don't come up with the money. And it's Paisley Park. I mean, I'm sure they have the money, right?
Oh yeah.
So I don't know what Prince was doing at the time or who he had doing his books, but whatever they were doing, they were failing.
Yeah.
And they basically said, hey, we're going to take you to collections. And that same day.
Same day. Was it summer, fall?
God, I don't remember. It's summertime. It was definitely in the summer. So I just remember Larry Graham coming in. And I'm like, I know Larry Graham because I used to work at the vacuum store for Max's dad.
Yep. Chanhassen's a small town.
And Larry Graham used to come in and get his vacuum service.
And you worked there alongside Max.
Alongside Max. We'd do vacuum repairs.
And the vac doc.
In the vac doc.
Mike Bailey.
Azizi.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We love you, Mike.
We love you, Mike. So he would come in and get his vacuum, pick it up or whatever, and I'm like, God, that's Larry Graham. So he comes in and he hands a personal check. Larry Graham's name is on the check. It's signed. And
Interesting.
it's for $20,000.
Same day.
Same day.
Wow.
Hours.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. But that was wild. That
Prince was not.
Prince called Larry Graham and said,
Prince probably didn't even know. He's not an accountant.
Maybe not, but the word got to Prince, and I'm sure Prince called. Who's going to call Larry Graham and say, can you run a check over?
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, Prince called Larry Graham, and he's like, I need you to go to Country Inn and Suites
Gangsta glam, baby.
for $20,000.
That's
check. I'll pay you
awesome.
back with interest. I don't,
And
I don't know.
I remembered you also mentioning something about the Axel's restaurant in Chanhassen.
Yeah, that's weird. So, it's not weird, but kind of weird. There's this Godfather booth. They call it the Godfather booth. It's in the back.
It's like the heart-shaped date booth.
I'm sure if you look up Chanhassen Axles on the tube there, I'm sure you can pull up a picture of the old booth, but it's in the back corner and it's got purple curtains.
Give it to me, baby.
Purple curtains. and it's like this corner booth that's recessed, kind of like almost like this, right?
Does this look like it?
That's it right there. That's the Chanhassen Godfather booth right there. So
it looks very gangster mafia.
And there's, if you down the middle picture right there, the purple curtains are right there. And I don't know, is that Moe's? No, that's still Axel's. So
Axel's changed ownership, and
Axel's did so Bonfire Axel's, whatever. So they had the purple curtains. And now it's owned by, it's called Moe's, and it's owned by a nice couple.
Mo? A guy named Mo? I don't know.
I don't know if it is, but
that was his booth, huh?
Yeah, that was his booth. So he would come in through the back kitchen. The kitchen door is right by.
He used to do this at the Dakota Jazz.
The kitchen
Club
door
downtown.
is right by that Godfather booth. So he would come in through the back kitchen, and then they would scurry in, and they would close the curtains, and he would sit and enjoy his meals. Now, it recently changed hands, and a nice couple bought it, and my mom owned a business in Chanhassen, and she would go there for lunch or whatever, and they got to be friends. And she said, I just don't know what we're going to do with the booth in the back. I think we're going to get rid of the curtains and kind of open it up. And she's like, oh, no, you can't do that.
Your mom told them?
They're not from here, so they had no idea. Like, no, you're not allowed to do that.
That's blasphemy. Like,
you can't do that. Like, that's the Prince booth. Like,
you can't do that.
That's Prince's booth. So they put pictures of Prince up in there. They kept the curtains. I think they washed them. Maybe they replaced them, but they wanted to take the curtains off. And she's like, no.
Good. I thought you were going to say they replaced it with a shower curtain.
No, they said, no, you're not allowed to do that. That's literally Prince's booth. So it's kind of untouched, other than like putting some new art, like some Prince stuff up in there, which is kind of cool.
You can't say bad about the dude, and you especially can't do bad.
So whenever we go there, we request that booth because you can sit in there and you're like, kind of sitting where Prince would sit right now.
Yep.
You know, like having some ribs.
Yup. You know who else probably sat in that booth is Maite, and also Carmen Electra probably shared that booth back in the day too.
Who knows?
Wow.
I mean, it's probably like the best eats you're gonna get in Chanhassen, right?
With a
like
curtain.
especially at the time.
Yep. And a mile from his house.
And a mile from the house.
Any of his houses.
Phillies used to be the spot back in the day, according to my mom.
What's Phillies in Chanhassen?
Phillies used to be the bowling alley.
The bowling alley that was behind the movie theater.
It was behind the movie theater. It was behind Country Inn and Suites.
Yep, I think
it was kind of connected in a weird way.
Yeah,
and Phillies used to be the spot, dude. And Prince would do the same thing, but he would rent out the whole place, like the whole back bar. Like,
wow.
Yeah,
and then he had his own spot in the dinner theater too, up above
spot
in the balcony.
Dinner theater. Yeah, I mean he owned the place.
Wow.
Like Chanhassen, like dude, he was literally the Prince.
Yeah, who else?
Of Chan. Like
and the Prince of Purple. And it's funny because it's
so
like
crazy.
I can't think of all the stories, but more come back like just after more. I think more come back. You know,
I mean, definitely.
But wow, that's pretty crazy.
He was a real dude, and we saw him all over the place, which is super cool to think about, right?
It is,
especially with like how recluse he was. Where
yes,
he didn't like to be seen. He didn't like
Yeah,
it's like he wanted the spotlight. But he didn't want the spotlight. Super,
But the people and the residents of Chanhassen, of course, obviously they knew who he was, but like they all respected and gave him his
distance, right? Like it wasn't like, oh my god,
I mean, he's your celebrity's favorite.
Unless you're me at Byerly's.
Yeah, he's your celebrity's favorite celebrity, but he's our neighbor.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's kind of like, so cool.
Yeah,
man. Just so cool. Such an awesome place to grow up.
Great place to grow up.
Just an awesome place, and it's gotten weird since he's passed, man.
Chanhassen has gotten weird.
It's changed a lot.
I see like overgrown grass in some parking lots, and I was like, that would never fly before.
No, never, man.
Well, it's kind of weird because not long after he passed, or maybe right before it, I don't remember exactly, but that was around the time that the Vikings training ground moved out of Eden Prairie.
It was, yeah.
Also,
they did the TCO out in Egan.
So it seems kind of just like it's more like an era ended,
probably
in a weird way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Chanhassen is just changing so much all the time and everywhere you look. But those Prince stories will always remain and live, dude. Like
yeah.
And it'll never happen again. No one. will be able to camp on their Prince's property like we did, or get his hoop, or any of that, you know. So these are the memories that we want to preserve. These are the memories that you aren't going to hear from celebrities or anybody else. But do you remember what you were doing or how you felt when he died?
I was at work and you called me.
Oh,
and
yes.
I was at work and you called me and you said, dude, Prince just died. And I'm like, no way, dude.
Yep.
No, he didn't. And you're like, yeah, he did. I'm going to Paisley right now. And I'm like, I'm leaving work right now. Like, I'm leaving early. Like,
yep.
Like, this is a death in the family, dude. Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, this is my neighbor.
It's like our Mr. Rogers died.
Like, I'm leaving. I will meet you there. He's like, you're like, what do you want from Mocha Monkey or Starbucks or whatever? I'll get you a coffee.
Yep.
And you got me one, and we went there, and we had to park a long ways away.
Do you remember, like, there was like 50 reporters from like 50 different news stations?
Yeah.
It was like Italy, Telemundo, it was like CNN.
So many people.
It was
I mean, it was
crazy.
wild. It was
wild.
it was a national deal.
It was a national deal.
Huge. So I remember taking a picture, like getting down on the ground and taking a picture of like your
My tattoo,
your calf tattoo of your Prince. Put it up there. Put
Yep.
it up.
You'll
Let everyone see your Prince tattoo.
Yep.
Do it
yeah.
right now.
Oh yeah. Oh
Do
yeah.
it
Right now.
Yeah, right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
I got you guys.
Don't. Yeah,
I
you gotta
got
show.
guys.
You gotta show.
Here live on the show.
You can't not show them.
How can I not show
Dude,
you
it's
guys?
on you, dude.
I'm getting it.
It's on
I'm
you.
getting it ready, dude. I'm telling you. All right, so yeah, this is my my first Prince tattoo. I'm not really sure how to. Tony, how should I show the camera? All right. So, this is my first one. And we got a pretty cool, sad, somber photo of this, my leg, outside of Paisley the day he passed.
You got nice legs.
Thanks. Those are Chanhassen legs. And then, yeah, we were there, and yeah, it was sad. It was somber, for sure. But
It was, man. It was.
it was like that for months. You couldn't drive by without people
No,
being
no.
outside for like months.
And I couldn't. You're still in shock. Like, you still couldn't believe it. Like,
Yeah, it was depressing.
this is the guy, man.
There it
This is
was,
what
the
he's
day
like.
he died.
Yeah, Fox 9. I mean, Dave Ryan was there from KDWB. We
Which
did a little.
he interviewed us live
We did a
stream.
live,
He's a local,
live snippet with him.
local
and,
iHeartRadio.
people are
disc
still
jockey.
putting stuff on the fence, man. I
Always.
drive by it every single day on the way to
if
work.
you go
I mean,
if you go inside, they save it.
really?
They save all that stuff.
Because every time I drive by and it's all down,
Yeah.
so I'm figuring like they're just
They got
throwing it
mock
all
fences
away.
inside, and they arrange it.
No, they don't.
Yeah, dude, preserve
What?
it. Yeah, they preserve it.
So Paisley Park, like, okay, so I grew up here my entire life, right? I've grown up in Chanhassen basically since I was 6 years old. So,
And what year was that?
God, man, I'm terrible with math, but
90s, mid 90s.
I mean, we're
early
in the 90s, definitely in the 90s, right? So it's kind of like, you know how like locals, like people in Florida don't go to Disney World. Mm-hmm. I haven't been there.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
inside, like I haven't been inside.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, right? Like I see the guy all over the place, but I've never been in.
It's a trip.
I bet it is.
It's a
I need to
trip.
go. I've been meaning to go. I feel like I've been doing myself a disservice and the entire community a disservice by not going.
Bring you and your fiance, Michaela. Shout out, Michaela. You guys
Love you, babe.
Love it. Yes.
we need to go. Yeah, man.
It's magical.
I bet it is.
It's just a straight trip.
I got to get in there, man.
Yeah,
I
dude.
got to get in there. Because I pass by it every day. I've been driving past it every single day for God knows how
What
many
always
years.
makes me sad is the day he passed away. I drove past it on the way to work at like 8 in the morning. This was before he was discovered. So he was laying in there, passed away when I drove to work, drove
Yep.
by it. And that always makes me super sad. But yeah, we were lucky, and he never moved away. I mean, he always had properties elsewhere, but he always came back to
He
good old
always
Chan,
came
baby.
back to Chan. He had that property too off of Lake Riley.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Kiowa Trail.
And Pioneer Trail and Kiowa Trail.
No, it was 101.
Oh, 101.
Great Plains
I'm sorry.
Boulevard.
Yep. Sorry, buddy.
101.
OG Chan talking. Yeah, I remember that.
He had the property off of Galpin. He had the property there. He tore down the property off of Galpin. He tore the property down off of Lake Riley way quicker than he took, because he still had the house out.
Yes,
out off of Galpin for a while.
And he also had 2 houses in Long Acres, and he also had a house.
I don't think because you pay a lot of property taxes with a structure.
Yes,
right?
that's why
you can hold on to the land.
That's why. Yeah, exactly.
But you don't have to pay property taxes.
No purple taxes.
Well, you still have to pay property taxes, but
hey, no purple taxes if there's not a purple house.
No purple taxes. Well, the one was yellow, but there was a purple house on Lake Riley. It was literally legit a purple house.
And I was sad because, as we know, the gate still remains, but people bought the property, leveled it, and rebuilt the house. But the 1999 album was recorded in that house.
It was.
Which a lot of people don't really know. So every time you hear Little Red Corvette or 1999 or DMSR,
I feel like he filmed a video there too.
I just recently found out that he filmed the 1999 video at the Armory.
Really?
In Minneapolis. And they just redid that and opened it as a venue in the last 10 years. But
yeah, it's a sweet venue, by the way.
It is a sweet venue.
If you haven't been to a show at the Armory, I suggest that you
It's an armory. It's an armory. That's for damn sure.
The acoustics are amazing.
Yes. I saw Ice Cube there, and my ears were, messed up.
I saw Judas Priest there.
Oh, my God.
It was awesome.
Wow.
Super dope.
Wow.
But he did have those places. He tore them down, but he was weird about tearing them down.
Yes.
Legend has it that when he tore down the Galpin place, especially, he didn't want the semi trucks to leave until like 1 a.m.
Makes sense.
And he didn't want it dumped.
That's when he likes to grocery shop, so that makes sense.
Legend has it, unconfirmed, but legend has it, he had it shipped. He had the truckers leave and go to Iowa to dump it, so that nobody would go through his stuff.
Interesting,
right?
That is interesting, and it kind of ties into, they recently leveled, as we were saying, the Chanhassen Cinema with the giant Prince painting on the back. On the way to work every day, on the way back, until they demolished it, I thought I was going to be there and be able to get a brick. I went to work one day. It wasn't demolished.
I would have loved to have
I came back after work. It was demolished, and all the purple bricks are gone. So I don't know. It would have been
sweet to have one like right here.
Some people have them, I'm sure, but I was like, what do you think they told them? Like, get these out of here first, because people are going to like want to like.
I'm sure.
Just kind of weird, you know? And I was just like, dude, you should have. I was going to fight a construction worker for one, dude. I was going to give him the old switcheroo.
You look like you've been working out, man.
Yeah. Well,
look like you've been
working hard on this podcast.
You look spry.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
You look good too, brother.
Thank you, brother.
But it was good having you on, man. And I think this might be a great time to end the episode.
Hey, man.
But I think we're going to be seeing more of you.
I hope so.
I have a very good feeling.
I got some more stories, dude.
He's got some more stories, purple stories. Until next time, everybody, this has been another episode of the Purple Memoirs.
See ya.